Raise your hand, Pedro. Right there in the middle. We have Maggie Hernandez. There's Maggie. We have Aurelio Anaya. There's Aurelio. We have Freddie Siwenza. Did I say that okay, Freddie? Your last name? And then we have Marilyn Martinez here on the end. And I have two fine young men with me. They're two seniors. We have Daniel. Raise your hand, Daniel. Okay. And we have Nick that you guys can assume in the audience. The other gentleman is Nick.
Hi, I'm Grace, and I'm going to San Francisco State next year, and I'm playing soccer for them, and I'm doing nursing students.
Great.
I'm Kayla, and I'm going to Sonoma State next year, undeclared, but probably business. Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Sarah Bell, and I will be attending Cal Poly San Luis Obispo next year, and I will be majoring in industrial engineering.
We have three senior students. Introduce yourselves.
My name is Winter Cavillo.
Okay.
My name is Marta Rivera.
My name is Fabian Ortiz.
Now, this adventure continues. I'm at Aptos Junior High School, and I have Brooke O'Brien on the left. Wave, Brooke. You can see Brooke there. We have Sarah Squires in the middle, and we have Jesse Avelar on the right side. Tell us about a teacher, no names, who made the biggest difference for your learning, and then give us some examples of how that teacher made a difference.
Well, a good teacher that I've had, she always was engaged with her students. She knew what she was talking about, like the context of the work. She knew she was professional in it. It's actually my graphic design class. She just really stayed on top of the work. She told the students what we were going to be doing that day, told them what they had to be done, and told them how to do it. And she just basically just lets us know what we have to do and just gives us our work for the day, and we just have to go on and just know that we have to finish our work, and if we don't finish our work, then that's just a consequence of our grades dropping, because she expects us to stay on top of our work and get all of it done.
A lot of my teachers try to make us laugh, so it didn't seem like it's so bad to be in class. Like jokes here and there make it so, I don't know, like it's not that bad to be in class.
Well, I had a teacher my sophomore year who taught math, and she just made it really fun by pumping us up in the beginning of every class. She'd always have like an exciting story to tell us about her weekend, and she wasn't really sharing her personal life, but she did share more stories with us than other teachers had, and that made like all the students, I feel, have a stronger bond with her, and they felt like they could trust her more, and they weren't so afraid to ask questions in class. And she was really good about not making you feel uncomfortable or ever like stupid. She was always encouraging you to ask questions, so I think that really helped.
I really like when teachers have a variety of curriculum as opposed to just the same thing every day, strict schedule. Mixing it up really works, working in groups. I think it helps me a lot, because then I feel like it's not the same mundane activity, it's just more of an activity.
Okay. Thank you.
I had a teacher this year for English, and it was a really, really hard class, but I'm really happy I took it because it really prepared me for college, and there was always so much work to do, and she kind of made us figure out on our own what we had to do, and she taught us a lot of time management and stuff.
And well, that class is extremely hard. We have a lot of homework to do, but you know, he's a demanding teacher, but he's not strict, you know. Like, you can walk into class, have some fun and stuff, but you know, you have to do your work. You have to get stuff done.
Okay.
And then compared with other teachers, they're strict, you know, but they're just mean strict, so you just don't pay attention.
So my World Civ teacher from sophomore year, Mr. Benham, entering the class, we were supposed to draw Europe, and nobody knew what it looked like, or what it do. And by the end of the year, you could easily just draw Europe and name everything in there. You could basically just do it off the top of your head, and he would teach you just using mnemonics.
I would say my teacher now, Mr. Reedy, he's a biology teacher. We started off with a substitute. We didn't know what we were doing in the class. We would just mess around. We wouldn't learn anything. And once he came in, he showed us everything. He went over everything in the school year. He's a really good teacher. He's strict. He leaves us a lot of work, but he's somebody that inspires me.
I'll go
Some of the strategies were group activities.
Okay.
As we finished like a subject or part of the class, the lesson, the teacher would gather us in little groups and do like little like labs, I guess.
Yes, teacher involved like community issues, and he incorporated with the subject we were talking about. And even we did a documentary on like community issues, and he like really gave you like the perspective of back then and the perspective of now, and how history repeats itself.
Well, my teacher, he's like really clear, and like he's like really fair. Like I know some teachers who are like really not fair. Like they have favorite students, or they like, I don't know, they just like don't seem fair. And this teacher's like really fair, and he always gives you a chance and stuff.
Probably a teacher that has like made a difference in my learning was one of my elective teachers, and she's had a thing where we had to read one like historical fiction book, and in my mind I was going, oh great, I don't like this. But then I started reading the book and I turned out to really like it. So then like she gave me a bunch of examples of other books, so it really broadened my horizon to like read more books that I wouldn't have ever picked up. And it was just really cool, and she's just like super nice to everybody.
The teacher that probably helped me the most is she helped me learn really good study habits and how to work a lot more quickly. Because before junior high, I used to work really slowly and I was kind of a perfectionist, but now I've learned how to still work well, but do it more quickly. And also, before I didn't like social studies very much at all, but now I've learned how to enjoy it and how to study it a lot better.
When you're engaged in your learning, what does it look like? What's it feel like to you?
Well, it's like time flies. Like my pre-cal class, there's like a group of us. There's 5 of us that's just wants to work, and like we'll do the classwork while she's barely like starting to warm up. We'll do the classwork, finish that, finish the homework, and then we'd be asking her for more work. And like by like the time that they're done doing the lesson, like we're already done. We're just hanging out, waiting to see if we can get more work, because it's just like it goes by too quick, and like you won't be able to like do anything else.
And I kind of get like in my zone. I have nothing else in mind except for what I'm doing. Totally focused.
Well, when we're learning, we're just focused on it, ready to learn and keep learning more.
It's pretty much, you just get zoned in, like you get sucked into what the teacher's saying.
Well, sometimes a lot of kids aren't focused, but like when it is, like you're really in the zone. Like nothing can really stop you, and like time goes by really quick when you're actually doing your work.
For me, it's like you're quiet, you're not talking, you're just more like engaged on what you're doing. And I don't know, for my graphic design class, I usually have headphones in and I don't say a word the whole period to anyone. I just do my work, just get it done. And maybe in other classes, just like, I don't know, just way less talking and just more just getting stuff done, and it actually feels like really good to get all your stuff done and know that you have nothing to worry about.
I feel like students are like in their zone, and like you can't really like distract them, even though there might be all this stuff going on. Like that student that you see that's just like working on their assignment, like that's the one who's like really engaged in what they're doing, and the one who's always like asking questions and like just gets really excited when they figure out something and like get an answer to a math problem.
Okay.
I think when you're working in groups, especially that kind of like slight roar of the classroom a little bit of the different groups talking about what they're learning and really engaging themselves and kind of understanding the ideas fully presented, and the teacher just walking around and helping when they can.
Okay.
Yeah, just everyone asking questions and kind of more like classmates helping classmates, just so everyone's kind of on the same level, more than just the teacher teaching everyone.
Okay, when I'm engaged in learning, I usually don't get very distracted because I'm really into it, and I always, when I'm reading about any subject, it just kind of seems like I'm in the topic, and I don't know, it just kind of forms a little world around me.
I guess like when I'm engaged in learning, I'm really focused, and like if kids are maybe like whispering quietly or like talking or messing around or whatever, like I'm not really like focused on them. I'm focused on learning, and I'm actually like striving to do good and stuff. And yeah, I'm just not.
It feels like I'm learning, like I'm better understanding the lesson, and it's kind of like an activity. Like it's fun, but it's a learning process.
You want to learn more about it. You want to be like, it could actually sometimes be like you want to major in maybe, or you just want to keep learning more and more about it.
Okay, if you had a chance to tell your principal how to make your school a better place to learn, what would you say?
I think that would help I+I be a better place for learning would be to make sure all the teachers are on top of their stuff and are telling the kids what to do, because a lot of the classes, sometimes here at Aptos, or at least a couple ones I've had in my experience, the teacher just doesn't really get their kids disciplined, and a lot of the kids just act up and start talking, and sometimes the teacher will just get too frustrated and will just basically almost not give up but not do their best effort on teaching the class. And I think if the principal made sure every teacher taught the way they're supposed to be teaching and taught the curriculum and made sure the kids were learning stuff and not just only giving 50% instead of 100%, I think I+I would be a better place.
The teachers don't really like explain stuff thoroughly. Like, I don't know. I wish they would explain it more, because some of this stuff, it's like really hard, and some people just don't get it, and then they just keep moving on like in class, and then the kids are still behind and don't know like what to do.
So maybe, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, more checking for understanding, make sure students learn it before they move on? Okay, very good.
Coming back, if there's something that a lot of you didn't get, coming back to it and keeping reinforcing it, giving you other opportunities to learn it.
And being more friendly. I feel like a lot of students would learn if a lot of teachers were more actually cared about their students and where they were going in the future and made sure that they learned the concept and asking them and kept on checking back, because I know a lot of students are like afraid to ask the teacher for help if they don't know something, and then if they just don't get it, and then the next day they have to apply that concept to the next day's lesson, and then they're just really confused because they don't even know how to get the premise of it.
I don't know. Personally, I had a great experience, but maybe trying to get the other kids involved even more so than we have been doing. The sort of kids who hang back in the shadows but secretly do want to involve themselves.
Good idea.
Okay.
I think that maybe have the teachers from each grade level meet maybe once a month and kind of decide when they're giving that big exam each month, and make sure that it doesn't fall on the same date, because that does stress students out a lot, and then it kind of almost just sets them up for failure because they're just so stressed that they don't even really get a chance to fully study.
This year, being a senior at like college was a big stress thing on everyone's mind, and I think if we would have started like preparing earlier, like even sophomore year for college and get into everything, it'd help a lot and take a lot of the stress off that we had this year.